I just watched the Ghost of Yotei State of Play, and I'm seeing a lot of homework being copied here. So, the Ghost of Yotei State of Play was, as of recording, literally, like, what, 3 hours ago? Which is, works out nicely for us.
So recent. Big news. Early news. You get it right when we got it.
Right from the source's source? Not quite from the source. You could have just watched the State of Play. But now you get some unwanted opinions about it, and what's better than that? So I basically watched the State of Play, and as it was playing, made some notes. And so I'm just going to go through them in order of how I wrote them down. So the first thing they show off is a time warp button. Basically, you can go back in time and experience the protagonist's reasons for finding revenge. It's like in the past, them as a child with their family. And that's been done, right? We've seen flashbacks in games. That's fine. What intrigues me is the fact that they specifically say at a push of a button.
So at any point.
Does that mean at any point? Does that mean you can just choose whenever?
So if you see a blade of grass like waving in the wind, you could just go back and see why that blade of grass is so violently waving in the wind, or like
surely
baby grass, or is it character locked? Like, is there a specific like? Because I can't see why. Like, not every moment in the game requires you to go back and see what got us here.
Exactly.
If you step in a puddle, are you gonna go back to like when you woke up that morning? You were like, I'm gonna not wear socks, or I'm gonna wear socks, and then that's why you stepped in the puddle.
My guess is that at a push of a button, they're talking about like new gen loading times, and it's really quick. But the way they've worded it makes it sound like you can just choose whenever to go back in time.
I'm assuming it'll be an interact button.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, it'll give you the option. Like, hey, if you press this button, then boom. But, like, I don't see it being any time. Like, it's got to be some sort of
I imagine not. But they've just worded it in a really weird way that, like...
Hey, what do you expect? They named it Yotei.
It's Yotei, apparently. I genuinely thought it was Yotei up until the direct 3 hours ago.
See, we can't. I don't. But, yeah. So at the push of a Yotei, Yoda,
Yodelay, he who.
He who? Who is he?
The second point I have is that you can interrogate enemies in different ways, so you can ask them different questions and you'll get different kinds of information. It's not just... Normally an interrogation sequence is, oh, press this button, they tell you what you want to know, you can now go on to the next part of the quest.
Cut scene, basically.
Yeah, this seems to be, it's like a multiple choice thing, and depending on what you want, what information you want to get out of them, you can then progress different quests, which I think is pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, it gives you options and stuff, but then now you have to play the game multiple times if you want to be able to go through. And
I think the idea is there's enough of these enemies that you can eventually do all of them in one playthrough. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It reminds me of Gotham Knights. I know we've somehow mentioned this like 3 weeks in a row, but
Gotham Knights news.
There's a point in that where you can choose which gangs to interrogate to get information for the next night, and that's like a recurring thing. You can pick which ones you want to interrogate. That isn't quite the same thing, because that is going to different NPCs and interrogating different people to get different information. Smacking the crap out of the camera, apparently.
My bad.
He's trying to Google. He's violently Googling.
Shh. It's okay. We didn't see anything.
But this means you can... you can choose what you want to do, which I like. I don't like it when games lock you to specific quests at certain times. This seems to be a lot more, you play how you want to play, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I guess.
As you do certain things, the bounty on your head increases, so you get more difficult enemies haunting you. Similar. It's like a wanted level, basically. But it's like... constant.
But In Red Dead, it was called bounty. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I don't know if this is just when you hit certain chapters in the main story, they tell you the bounty increases and then you get more difficult enemies in the next chapter. Or if this is actually like a dynamic thing where, depending on what side quests you do, you get more difficult enemies to run into.
I think it's just gonna be it's just gonna be specifically based off of this certain group of characters that is always chasing you. I don't think it's gonna have anything to do with the actual gameplay. Unfortunately, that would be cool though if you did like basically level yourself up with bounty, that the game progressed to be more difficult to either influence you to A, be a better gamer, or B, don't be so violent.
If you're gonna be violent, you better at least be good at it.
Yeah, that would be, I'd like that. I would like that in a game mode. Depending on how violent you are is how difficult the game is. That would shorten a lot of people's playthroughs.
It would, to be fair. You can also choose your own bounties. That's like a currency thing. Just a side quest. Very similar to what we've seen in other games. You can choose weapons, right? And you have these different weapons at all times. You don't pick a weapon and stick to it like you do in certain previous Assassin's Creed games. You have all of them on you, and you can change between them. It reminds me of the lightsabers in Fallen Order, because you have the single blade and the double blades, right?
Spoiler.
No, we've already talked about the specific thing I'm talking about, so I know you haven't. Plus, I'm talking about the first game, which is quite old at this point. I'm not going to talk about the second game, although it does get
played it.
Even more in that one. But for the first game, you have the single blade, the double blade. You can switch between them, and they do slightly different things. While it is just, mash square to attack or whatever, like the double-bladed one is better at dealing smaller amounts of damage to more enemies, and the single blade is the other way around. Similar to that, but there's like some ranged weapons in there. It's again kind of Survivor-esque. But
okay,
so you can change weapons on the fly. Is what I mean.
With every one of these, there's a comparison to another video game. That's very interesting.
Which, at what point can you just say that is what video games are? But at the other point, it's not very often that I specifically recognize everything they show off to be from something else.
That's true. That is true.
Although, it does look cool. I don't want to be like painted as a Yotei hater. I don't know.
The Simpsons did it first, so that's all that matters.
Also, this one particularly got me, is there is a little part in the trailer, it's maybe 5 seconds long. The protagonist jumps off a rooftop and very quickly, in somewhat slow motion, kills 3 enemies at once without taking any damage or giving them a chance to attack them. That is just the fear takedown from Knight, right? Like, that is what that is. Arkham Knight, I mean.
Wouldn't that just be Deadeye?
Very similar again. Yeah, it's, yeah.
Okay, well, if you liked those games, maybe you'll like this one. Ghost of Yotei, available near you on someday.
You can fight alongside a wolf. Like, you can befriend a wolf, and the wolf will scrap people with you.
I'm trying to think what would, like, I mean, you get the dog, like the canine in like the Call of Duty games that will take care of things for you. So I know there's another game, but I can't think of it, where you have like a dog or a wolf companion and it attacks things for you. I cannot think of it. If anybody else can think of it, please tell me, because I want to know what this game is. Not that one.
But yeah, that's a lot of the stuff they focused on, and it's a lot of stuff that I'm like, that's not really innovative. Like, it's cool, but we've seen this before.
Yeah.
What does seem kind of new, that I haven't seen before, at least, is you don't have to go to specific vendors anymore. So, like, in previous similar third-person action games, you would have to go to a sort of home base, and then around that home base, there will be various people that you can talk to upgrade your gear, right?
Okay.
Immediately brings to mind Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, games like that. You have the home base, and then around that base, there's like a blacksmith, toolsmith, leathersmith, stuff like that. And you can use them.
You go to a town.
Yeah.
Various other games, you have to go to a town specifically. Some have certain things, other towns don't.
Exactly.
But you have to specifically go there.
Mm-hmm. What happens here is that you have rest points at campfires, right? Which, again, is that a Dark Souls reference? Or, anyway.
Also Red Dead.
Also true.
Can you, real quick, can you make these campfires anywhere? Or are they campfires that are strategically placed in the map?
They didn't say.
If you can make them anywhere, that's really cool.
That is very Red Dead if you can make them.
But at the same time, it's really cool because you can have that really anywhere you choose to. Whereas if the game already has it pre-programmed that they have campfires for you, well, just make it a town.
That's fair. Yeah, you make a good point. The thing is that upgrade vendors will meet you at campfires, but I wonder... They're not going to bring all of them at the same time. What do you have to do to get the one that you want? Or does it just bring the ones that, like, you can afford right now? Or what's the limit here? You know, how many people we bring into this campfire? But yeah. I don't know. The upgrade system works a bit differently, seemingly. And there's a different, like, upgrade tree for each of the weapons and stuff like that.
Oh,
there's a photo mode. Yeah, I know, right?
Yay, photo mode. Look, no game is complete without photo mode. The only time I've ever used photo mode in a game is by accident. Then I'm like, no, not that button. That's it. The only time I've ever used it.
The thing is, right, a lot of people really like photo mode. We are not particularly those people, I will admit. But photo mode is typically a post-launch thing. It's been a while since I've seen a game launch with a photo mode. It's normally... It comes a bit afterwards.
Mario Kart World, man. That's why it was $80, because it came with that on the day.
You right. Sorry. This also comes with a photo mode.
Well, is it going to be $80? Who's making this game?
Is it going to be $80?
No, because it's a PlayStation game, and PlayStation still hasn't raised their prices. See what it did there? See what it did there? Timestamp. What time is it? Let's get this started right. Let's break the immersion.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it'll probably be a $69 game, more than likely. I have a deluxe edition that's $100. That's usually how it goes.
It does have a limited edition that comes with... I don't know if it comes with a console with the plates on it, or if it's just the plates. But it also comes with a controller. There's a Ghost of Yotei controller knocking around. Or there will be, at least. Yes.
For PS5, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
As I said, I didn't actually check out the link. I'm not entirely sure if it's a limited edition console or if it's just the plates.
Yeah. Okay.
Buy it, find out.
Real quick. Can we pause?
Pause?
Yeah.
Okay, so Stan was just briefly kidnapped by the bourgeoisie, but whilst he was gone, I did do some research. And it turns out it is the full console you get if you buy the base one, or the slim one, sorry. But if you want the Pro, then that is only the plates.
Yeah, Is it the slim version? Are we for sure about that? Because we didn't check that. Yeah, it looks like this. Yeah, okay, it's a slim version. So I can't get plates for my original PS5 because these plates look great.
So. Okay, so they have the one stripe, don't they? It's the slim.
That's so stupid. All right, well, if you have a PS5 Slim and you want the plates, you can get them, or you can buy the whole console because who you need more consoles. If you have the Pro, though, you cannot buy another Pro version, which, let's be honest, you can't anyways. So you can buy the plates. Just put the plates on there. They do look nice. I do like you got a white and gold design. You've got a white and black design. The controller matches as well. I am not going to buy the plates because I have no use for them, even though I think they look really great. But I will probably pick up one of the control, whichever one's still available when I remember. Because this does release October 2nd. Nice.
Yes.
So, whenever that goes up, maybe I'll check it out. This is 3 months from now. So, I still got to get the new Astrobot controller whenever it comes out. There's still no news about that.
I was going to say something else about that. Oh, it comes with a digital version of the game, not physical.
Yeah.
It's a download.
I do not like that. That's with the Switch, Mario Kart edition, the PS5 Spider-Man 2 edition. They give you digital. I bought the physical console, and what's weird is that I keep hitting the camera. What's weird is you buy the edition of the console that's not digital. You buy
the disc drive
that plays games.
And it doesn't come
with it has a disc drive. Why not come with a game? What are you doing?
Crazy.
Come on now.
PlayStation. The last point we have, do better.
Do better. But your prices, still I appreciate that.
We have one last point about the state of play. They showed there is a fully subbed mode of the game where they completely redo the dialogue in Japanese with accurate animation, so the mouths are like accurately animated to that, which I don't think I've seen before.
I kind of wish
I've
it wasn't
seen dubbed games, sure, but
I kind of wish it would have been done in Japanese first, and then they would have just dubbed over that in English, not changing the mouth at all.
So whatever language you play it in, it looks accurate to what they're saying, and then there's also subtitles to go with it in English, so it looks like a movie. Because there's loads of different filters and stuff you can add to make it look like various styles of movie. But
there's gonna be Reddit pages dedicated to the dubbed, the subbed versions better than the dubbed. And it's a video game, man. Come on, it doesn't tell a different story. Man. Yeah, Twitter will do it too, or X. Anyways,
so moving on.
Yeah.
We got new Insomniac intel this week, and I say that because it's a load of Codswallop. So some guy, right, made a video saying that he has insider information about Insomniac. He claims the next game isn't going to be Wolverine. He claims that they are still going ahead with the Venom game that everyone thought was cancelled. And that will be coming out next year. Wolverine following it the year after, and then Spider-Man 3 in like 2029 or something. The thing is, at no point does he give any credible source as to how he knows this. But there's loads of articles floating around that I've seen that have just filled my feed saying we've got new information about Insomniac, new Spider-Man 3 news, new Wolverine news, but it's just some guy in like his room just saying stuff. Like, I could have done that. I could have just lied.
We've had a lot of that. We've had a lot of that recently. People just saying things, and for some reason, we talked last week about Nintendo Switch Canada raising their prices when it simply just says it'll be fluctuating due to the market. And also, we had a lot of talk this week about how there was going to be a Nintendo Direct. Spoiler, since we didn't start this with it, there wasn't one. If you've made it this far, I think you realized it.
We recorded this later than we normally do, in case.
Just in case. Just in case. So they're affecting our job now. We're letting them get to us.
It's our job that we don't get paid for.
Well, of course. Why would you get paid, sir? We do it for the joy of spreading news.
I do.
Making people laugh. Sometimes.
Well, we sometimes.
Whether you laugh at us or with us, we appreciate it.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to jump down to Crossworlds because I like the look of this. And the other stuff doesn't seem as interesting right now. So Crossworlds got an animated teaser trailer. I'll throw it up on screen. It's literally 20 seconds, but all Sonic animation is good animation. I've yet to see one that I didn't enjoy. So there is that. There is also, they threw up at the end, some information about how pre-orders will work, how DLC will work, stuff like that. So there will be a season pass that gets you all of the extra characters. This seems to imply that you will also be able to buy them separately. So that is for Minecraft, SpongeBob, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, and apparently additional characters and more. And then they have 2 more blank spots. They didn't mention Miku. We know Miku's going to be in the game. There is no mention of her being in the season pass, which leads me to believe she's just in the base game.
I have a problem with this because this is still going to be a $60 game on release, right?
I think so, yes.
And then we have to pay a season pass to get characters that you kind of,
none of
bragged
them
about
are...
we're going to be in the game.
That is true. None of them are Sonic characters, though. If they'd looked behind, like, Shadow or something, fair enough. But,
Yeah.
SpongeBob...
But you sold the game on this. You sold the game like Minecraft Steve is going to be in this game for the low price of $19.95.
I doubt it'll be that much.
Well, yeah,
It seems... when they announced Minecraft, it seemed pretty clear that it was coming after release and it was going to be DLC. Which is...
Yeah. Well, DLC and Season Pass are 2 different things.
No, in this context, I believe Season Pass means just buying all of the DLC in a bundle, similar to how it was with, back in the PS3 era.
Does anybody remember Concord?
It isn't Season Pass as in, like, a battle pass that you have to keep buying. I don't think that's what this means at all. It's Season Pass as in get all the DLC
Season Pass means there's more than one season, right?
Not necessarily. That is how it seems to be shown in newer games like Fortnite and whatnot. But Season Pass originally has always just meant buying all of the DLC at once.
Well, I thought like Season Passes in like Pokemon and the Batman games, like if you bought a Season Pass, there was usually another season.
In Arkham, if you buy the Season Pass, that's just you get all the DLC. It's a one-time purchase.
Okay. All right. I did not know that because I haven't played that game. I have it now. It's back here. Because of this guy. He was like, buy
that's
it.
Just if you buy, because in Arkham Knight, obviously, you were talking last week, you can buy all the different Batmobiles separately and stuff. If you buy the Season Pass, it just means you get all of them.
Which is stupid because you could buy all the Batmobiles, but you can't even use them in the story mode. Which, like, why am I buying
That's a conversation for a different day. Back to
Am I
Miku.
gonna be able to use SpongeBob though for story mode in Crossworlds? Because is there a story mode?
I mean, there was in the last one. We'll see.
Okay.
So yeah, this leads me to believe that Miku is just one of the base characters, which makes sense because she is operating under a different licensing deal to the rest of them. Everyone else is dealing with through Nickelodeon. Miku is like half owned by Sega anyway, or something. So that makes sense. And there's more characters that we don't know about yet.
Yay!
Also, there's a pre-order bonus where you get a Werehog pack. You get the Werehog from Sonic Unleashed with a matching car, and the digital deluxe edition gets you the Sonic Prime characters. My question is, are these separate characters or are they skins? And if they are skins, are they going to keep dropping those?
That's I don't know.
Because the characters, I believe, are just Sonic Prime Sonic, Sonic Prime Tails, and so on and so forth. So it would make sense for them to just be skins of the originals. But then that implies that they may do more skins, and they could keep dropping those.
Yeah, you could say they do 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 skins. Who knows?
I knew you. Uh, I knew it was coming, yet it still threw me off.
You're welcome.
But yeah, can I play Crossworlds as like the Sonic Adventure 2 models as skins? That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe you can only like turn
play as Rouge
fully
with one
or
polygon.
not at all. Maybe there's no corner turns. You just fully turn or you don't turn at all. That's it. That's all you got.
Man, okay. So everyone absolutely dogpiled on me when I played Sonic Adventure 2 on stream, right? Turns out, I found this out afterwards. I was playing like the worst version you can possibly play, and there's a modded version that make the controls like okay to deal with, and that's why I struggled so much. Because I was playing the version on Steam is like a port of the PlayStation version, which is a port of the Dreamcast version, which is a port of the game, or something like that. Like, there's multiple layers of port going on, and that's why it was so bad.
Yeah, I've played that one too. Matter of fact, that's how the was it Sonic Adventures? Which one was it? Sonic Adventures or Sonic Adventures? Which one was I playing?
The first one you played. Just Sonic Adventure you played.
Sonic Adventures was it DX?
Oh, it might have been.
Ah, okay. That's how we met.
Thing, though. It is how we met.
That's how we met
story.
people. The Bob Wolf from Wolf Den raided me on Twitch, and this guy was in the audience, and yeah, that's the rest.
Can you believe that was
history.
well over a year ago now?
Yeah, well, I would hope so. I'd hope it wasn't like 2 weeks ago, because this would line up.
Anyway. Have you heard, Staniel? Assassin's Creed Black Flag, many people's favorite, is getting a sequel.
It sure is. Yeah, it releases this November. I'm so excited
this November
to look at pages and read.
It's a sequel set of graphic novels based after the story of the game. There's no game. There are some graphic novels coming.
Yeah,
I always love when things like this happen, because everyone reports on it being a sequel to Black Flag, so everyone clicks on it.
Yeah,
because they did the same with what was it, a Jigsaw or a board game or something? They did with the new Assassin's Creed.
I think
Ezio is coming in, and like it's just.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what they did. And I clicked on that one too. I'm gonna stop clicking on things. Stop clicking on things, fuckers. Make their algorithm tank. So they'll stop being able to put things. If you put that in your thumbnail or your title or anything like that, new sequel releases, and you don't immediately explain that it is not a video game. It is not a sequel of a video game that is a video game. Because that's all I care about. That is all I care. If I have a video game and there's a sequel, I want it to be a video game. If I have a movie and it's a movie, then there's a sequel, I want it to be a movie sequel. Don't come at me talking about hey, this video game has a sequel and it's a graphic novel. No, I don't give a shit. It's not a sequel. It's graphic novels about a story that was in that game. It's not how that works.
It, though.
But because I didn't know, they didn't tell me. If they would have told me, I never would have clicked it. It should be graphic novels inspired by the story of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's what it should be titled. That's what it should be titled, to be honest. Instead, they're all like, Assassin's Creed Black Flag sequel. Click on this and be disappointed. And I was. I did click and I was disappointed. So.
Speaking of sequels, last week I spoke about Arkham's Project Sabbath, which was a sequel to Arkham Knight that was cancelled all the way back in like 2015 or something.
Right.
Since talking about that, where the news was the fact that we had like 3 new screenshots of concept art come out, since then someone has leaked a full-on like animation test from the game that was being obviously it looks like it's in progress. Obviously, I'll throw it up on screen. It's
in beta. It's in closed beta.
Very, very much. Not even that.
Alpha. Closed alpha.
It is the Bat Pod, which was going to be one of the vehicles in the game, doing a cool jump over Killer Croc on a motorbike. with a modified Arkham Origins model as placeholder. The reason I find this interesting is because it is an excuse to talk about Arkham again, and I will jump on that anytime I get a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, you will.
The question people have been asking is, does this, like, where is all this coming from? Because we already had a lot of leaked concepts back in 2015. Why are they now resurfacing again 10 years later and we're getting new ones? Where are they coming from?
Why not?
Have they reopened this project? Because we do know that
No.
Rocksteady is working on a single-player game after the disaster that was Suicide Squad. We don't technically know that it's a Batman game, I don't think, but it is very much implied to be so because it's still under Warner Brothers and everything. And
well, it's not going to be a Superman game like they need to make, even though you would think right now with the movie being a big deal,
would be cool.
A video game would make sense. But, you know, if
cool.
whatever it is still years away. It's in development hell right now.
Absolutely.
So,
it's like just started. We may see it in like 2030 at the earliest, I reckon. But I'd like to see it. If this is picked up and it is this sort of sequel to Arkham Knight, because everyone's been talking about what if it's a prequel to Asylum, because we had Origins. Obviously there's Origins, Asylum City now, but the space between Origins and Asylum is like 8 or 9 years canonically. Like there's a lot of stuff that aren't in any games, and Arkham Shadow, like timeline wise, I mean not when the game's released, Arkham Shadow is in that gap, but there's still a lot of space. Arkham Shadow takes place right before the Arkham Origins multiplayer, I believe. Or after the main story of Arkham Origins. So there's still like a good 6 years with no content. So people have been asking if Rocksteady will be making a game based in that time, or because of the success of Arkham Shadow, are they just going to give Camouflage like a full trilogy and let them do it? Which I don't have a problem with. I would like it to be a console game, not a VR game, obviously, because it means I'd be able to play it, but...
Right. Yeah. Which, well, you got to look at it, though. VR's the way of the future, man.
Is the thing. And it was an insanely successful game. Like, despite being a MetaQuest exclusive, it sold pretty well.
Yeah. For something I would expect that's specifically locked behind something, that's,
Yeah. So my guess is that Camouflage are going to be making more games based before Asylum, using Roger as Batman. And then Rocksteady will either be doing something completely different, or they will be working on a sort of Batman Beyond style Neo Gotham kind of game, like Sabbath was supposed to be.
I don't know. Could go many ways.
Could go many ways. I've seen some people saying, game. Well, in that vein, I've seen some people saying, what if they made a World's Finest game?
What if they made a Justice League game?
Well, see, they tried that.
Well, they did Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Yeah.
What if they did Justice League kills Suicide Squad?
Superman cracking skulls. I'd love to see more Bat Family centered stuff, obviously, because I'm, slightly biased in that.
Yeah.
I think it needs a main character in this sort of game. If you do a Justice League game, you would have to pick one and have them be the main character, is the thing. Otherwise, it's too much. It would get confusing. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, more leaked content. Maybe this will become my new Silksong news. Maybe just every week there's going to be more leaked content for this 10-year-old game.
Arkham news.
Good. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
Did you see DC have just released a game though?
Have they?
Technically speaking, they have just released a game. Called DC Worlds Collide. It is a mobile game. However,
so don't care.
So it's called DC Worlds Collide. It's your standard mobile card fighting game. You've seen similar for Marvel, you've seen similar for Star Wars. Pretty much every franchise has one at this point. The reason it piques my interest is the Worlds Collide specifically, is they seem to be taking the story of the game from Crisis on Two Earths. Not Crisis on Infinite Earths. I will stress they are completely different things, despite having very similar names. Crisis on Two Earths is the story of Earth 2, funnily enough. And they seem to be taking a lot of characters from that. There seems to be a lot of story beats from that, so I'm intrigued. The team seems to have a lot of love for DC. You can see in just even in the trailer, you can see that there's characters that you would not typically put in this sort of game. Typically, you would stick to the heavy hitters that everyone knows. But they're putting things in like Creature Commandos, which I know did just get a TV show, but that was only because of James Gunn. Cool stuff, basically. They're not just going into this seemingly being, oh, Batman sells well, put all of those in it. They're actually like looking through DC back catalogs, and
if they were going to do that, they would do something with Batman Beyond. Because why is he not getting any representation?
I
fully buy a video game that's just Batman Beyond universe.
Well, that's what Arkham Sabbath was supposed to be. But it was Damien, not Terry. It was like loosely adapted. I'm still upset that Warner Brothers didn't pick up that movie.
Oh yeah, the movie you showed me? That would have been amazing. Batman Beyond in the Spider-Man,
the Spider-Verse style, the same
Spider-Verse style. That would have been amazing.
They're incredible. The concept art looked awesome, and Warner Brothers apparently just hates money. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just like, oh no, Batman Beyond doesn't sell. It's Batman. It doesn't matter what you put behind that name. You can put Batman Puppy Killer, and people would still watch it.
Yeah. Do you want to go on your little Razor rant?
Yes. Okay. Let's. Okay. All right.
Change of tone. Here we go.
I have something to talk about here. Let's just cut it here and talk about this. I use Razer. I use Razer for a lot of things. I have a Razer keyboard. I have a Razer mouse. I have a Razer headset. The best headset. I love it, and I have multiple of them. I have one sitting over there on my PlayStation 5 because I use it for my PlayStation 5. I have one for my PlayStation 5, one for my computer. Now, I will say I got them on sale. So, what?
I didn't know you had multiple.
Yeah, of course I do. And there's a third one in the box still.
Oh, of course.
Well, I got them. They were on sale. They were marked. So they're $100 headsets, but they were marked down for $20. So I bought 3 of them because I had bought the one because they marked them down half price. And I bought the one and I really liked it. And I was like, oh, okay, if I see these again and they're still on sale, I might just pick up another one. And they were on even more sale. So I was like, shit, I'll get 2 of them. So I did. So yeah, they're great. They're great headsets. They are wireless, but because of my setup and me being how I am, it is plugged in. Keyboard, like I said, mouse. What else do I use as Razer? I use several things as Razer. Razer has announced a collab with Pokemon, which people are like, what? No way. They've done it before. They've done a collab with Pokemon before. They have several things that they've done. Like, it's not the first time, but it is different because this time, instead of Pikachu, you get all of the evolutions and Pikachu. I don't know why we can't just kick this guy to the side for a second. It will still sell if you don't put Pikachu on there. I'll buy it. I promise you I will. I specifically look for things that don't have Pikachu on it when I'm trying to buy something Pokemon. I was on the Pokemon Center website earlier because I got an ad about one of the jackets, and it was a Gengar jacket, and I thought it looked really cool, so I checked it out. And then you go on there and you look up stuff, and like everything has Pikachu on it.
Of course.
It's called Pokemon. It's not called Pikachu-mon. It's Pokemon. There's a bunch of them. So, the Razer collab, though, that they're doing now has, you have a mouse pad that is Pikachu and Eevee being all cute, yada yada. You have a keyboard that is, you could tell Eevee inspired, but there's also Pikachu stuff there. And Pikachu and Eevee are both on the keyboard. The headset, it just looks completely Pikachu. I see nothing that says Eevee on there, which is weird because you could have done a Jolteon thing. They're both yellow. They're both electric. Jolteon looks like a cat. Pikachu's a mouse. Wish you would eat him. But beside the point, there's a sound bar that has RGB, which I'm not sure why we call it RGB. It's got all the other colors as well. So I feel like it should be RGB, P, like we should keep going with those.
Are you
what?
Are you is this a bit? Are you joking? Do you not know why? I can never tell if you're being serious or not.
Well, when you ask the question, you've broken it now, so it doesn't even matter. Anyways, it's only Pikachu. That bit failed. Welcome. So the sound bar is only Pikachu. He was just supposed to sit there and look confused. He wasn't supposed to say anything. And then there's a giant desk mat that's black, and it's got all of the evolutions and Pikachu huddled around each other. Now, this is new. This is brand new. This is nothing that is like old or whatever, and they're just bringing it back. This is brand new. This, however, if you notice, because I imagine the mat is on the screen right now, is the exact same image that is on the mat. The only difference is they've spaced the characters out a little bit. If you need to pause for a moment to be able to take a look, they all are doing the same poses. They are in the same general, like where they are at. They're the same there. They're just spaced out a little bit more on the mat than they are in this picture. This is from 2023. It's a 07 2023. I bought this from GameStop because it was my wife loves Eevee, so I bought it for her. Unfortunately, I asked Pikachu. She doesn't like Pikachu being involved in everything Eevee either, because Eevee deserves to be just Eevee. But I got this for like $5 because it was marked down. So, yeah, they're using a discounted canvas photo that couldn't sell in the store on this mat, instead of just trying something new and taking Pikachu off of there. And if you look at it, Pikachu looks photoshopped in. I'm just saying. He does, and I hate it. Like, the outline just looks different. I don't like it. Pokemon. Just give me stuff without Pikachu, please. I would thoroughly enjoy it. That's all. That's all for my rant. I'll probably still buy it, but that's all for my rant.
Fair. But for things that are just being brought back from the past, we have a listing on the Japanese is it the Square Enix shop specifically, or I don't know. There's some Japanese store, right, that is bringing back the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories card deck. So there was a deck of cards, normal playing cards, that were designed to look like the cards from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories or Rechain of Memories, whatever.
Okay.
And they're coming back. Apparently, there's a listing for them that's popped up that they will be releasing on the 29th of November in Japan for whatever the yen equivalent of $21 is.
Yeah, which means, on eBay, they'll be 100.
So I don't know if these will be releasing in the States or in the West in general, or if it's just a Japan-only thing. Because they haven't announced it at all yet. It's just people have noticed them there. So we'll see.
Companies are so great.
They just put it on the store and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So that's the most Kingdom Hearts news we've had in several weeks. But
that is a bit. Kingdom Hearts 4, where you at?
Are
you okay? Yeah. How come you weren't a Switch 2 launch title?
Imagine.
That would have been, man. I mean, a Silk Song alone would have helped sell the system, but Nintendo's got a Nintendo, and we get one per month for the next rest of our 8 years that we have with the Switch 2. So
Nintendo hasn't gone back on being Nintendo, though, because they were originally, we spoke about this last week and then got immediately contradicted. Last week, we spoke about the fact that Nintendo wasn't allowing Amazon US to sell the Switch 2 because they saw a lot of resellers and stuff. Amazon US, since then, in the week since we've recorded that, has now got listings for the Switch 2. You can't buy it yet. You can only register interest in which case they will presumably email you when you can buy it. But it seems they've just taken that back. It's fine. Amazon US can sell it now.
In that vein, I did see where some people were posting about how Nintendo just reached out to them about where they requested to pre-order a Switch 2. And they've reached out to them saying that they can now purchase it.
That's crazy.
No one needs it anymore. It's a month later. Like, we've either bought it now or given up hope. So that's I thought that was hilarious, and it kind of played into this. So
yeah, that's quite funny.
Nintendo, do better.
That's not the end of Nintendo's fun facts and fuck ups though, because they have also accidentally leaked one of their own games.
Yeah.
So the focus for NSO this generation is obviously GameCube. We've talked about it enough. Turns out though, as they were talking about some older games coming, some N64 games now coming to NSO, in the background they forgot to blur out the Smash 64 cover art. So while they haven't said that Smash 64 is coming, they've released footage of it in the background, so it looks like it probably is.
Oh, Nintendo, you gotta, you hate to love them and you love to hate them. It's just they're so great.
So eventually, I imagine, but also this also ties into the whole people naming articles in poor ways, because the article where I found out about this was titled something like "Nintendo leaks next Smash game for the Switch 2." Right?
Oh boy.
Which I don't think we're getting one for a while, because obviously that bloke's working on Air Riders before it has anything to do with Smash. So.
You know, I mean, we do knock a lot of these people that do clickbait and everything like that, but honestly, they're all successful, so we keep feeding into
I'll say I clicked it.
Yeah. So I guess title this video new Switch 2 Smash Bros update. Let's just see what happens. If you made it this far, because the video is titled that, and we're just now talking about it, just to tell you that it's not actually that, you're a trooper, and we need more of you here.
So when Nintendo was talking through all of their launch titles that aren't actually launch titles, and they were talking about Mario Kart, and then everyone got really annoyed at that because it turned out Mario Kart originally started development on the Switch 1, and then, rolling scope happens, and, it became a Switch 2 game. Turns out the same is also true for Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was apparently also a Switch 1 game that then became a Switch. Everyone seems really upset about this. I think that's how development works in an in-house studio. They start developing things for consoles they have, and then sometimes it gets moved up.
I think that's good news. I think that's really good news, because that means that for everybody that still wants another 3D Mario, well, if they've been working on Bonanza long enough that it was supposed to be a Switch 1 game, because that would have had to have been 5 years.
Oh.
It would have had to have been like 5 years in order for them to be working on it.
A very good... We got a comment on last week's video.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but I'll explain my point while you find that.
Found it.
Oh, dang it. Well, go ahead.
So, in that point, we got a comment from our good buddy, old pal, Jacob. And I'll read this verbatim to get the point across. He says, the rumors of EPD Tokyo, which is the studio who made Odyssey, having a Donkey Kong game coming out started in May of 2021, and those rumors were that it would be announced soon. My personal theory, being Jacob's personal theory, is that the main team flipped from Donkey Kong Bonanza to a 3D Mario around 2022, leaving behind a smaller team for polish, optimizations, bug fixes, and maybe the side content.
Okay.
He thinks a 3D Mario is coming out next year to coincide with the second Mario movie.
Yes, I would. That's exactly what I was about to say. So I don't even have to.
Good job,
Look
Jacob.
at that. Good job, Jacob. Jacob,
I
thank
think
you for
that's pretty
having
spot
my
on.
personal opinions.
Because we know that a lot of games were delayed to meet the launch of the Switch 2, right?
Yes.
So there is a decent chance that Bonanza has been done for maybe even a year, maybe more.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it would make sense.
Which means it
if
should release completely working, not broken.
To be fair,
whatsoever.
Nintendo games often do. Nintendo are pretty good at that.
That is true, but they don't have many that are like this.
That is also true.
Have you seen how many Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild updates there have been, man?
Different team.
I'm just saying. Like even the Switch 2 edition, they've already made the game. All they did was make it run better. It needs updates because they broke things in the game, or they ported things over that were broken originally that they patched, but they didn't patch it before they released it again. How do you do that?
You finish what you want to say about this, because I have a really funny story about.
That's it. That's all I have to.
Okay. In Breath of the Wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Near Ganon's castle. Okay. There is a bridge, right?
Ganon's castle?
Well, I haven't played the game. I don't know. There's a big castle that's like a boss area. I don't know.
Go ahead.
There's a bridge is the point, okay? I'm talking about the bridge. The castle is irrelevant. The bridge to the castle. There is a spot in one of the legs of the bridge, okay? There's a little crevice of like ruined area that you can stand in. And when you stand in it, there's a little window seemingly that you can pan the camera to look through, and when you look through that invisible window, it gets rid of all the cell shading from Link. And all of the glowing items that you can hold no longer glow. Okay? And I find this really funny, because it turns out the reason why is because they have a decal on, like, just on top of this bit that you can stand on. A decal being like, you know, some decorative cracks or something. Just a picture that they've put on the bridge to make it look like that. Because of game file optimizations that I'm not going to go into because it would bore you to hell, images are often stored as squares. So because it's stored as a square, right, and the decal is just this top bit above the bit you can stand in, then the bit that you can stand in still falls within this square. So that's why it looks like there's an invisible window. And there's something called a material buffer, which is how the game decides how it's going to render each material. So materials being, you can pick them to be whatever. In Breath of the Wild, they are things like buildings, skin, eyes has a separate one for some reason, stuff like that, right? So because of this, Link would normally be rendered using the skin one, right? Because he's a person. And that's where the cell shading comes in and stuff. That's how they apply all of that. And the items that you have, the stuff like that, they would have their own and stuff like that. This decal that like covers this window thing, the decals are put through this rendering system being thought of as buildings, because they're always put on buildings. So it just assumes that it's always going to be a building, right? So this one window means you can look at Link through how he would be rendered if the game thought he was a building, which is why it gets rid of all the cell shading. And I just think that's really funny. And that's obviously something very specific to like my degree and things that I do. So I know no one else cares, but I wanted to talk about that because I like info dumping and I find it very funny.
I find it interesting, so that's cool. That is neat. Maybe I'll boot the game up and check it out one day on the Switch 2 version that I get for free because I pay $80 a year.
It might have been fixed. I don't know if anyone's checked, to be honest. It was one of those where, because it's in one of the final areas of the game, like the polish was maybe slightly missed. Ultimately, it doesn't
who cares?
matter.
You've made it that far already.
Exactly. It took people years just to find it in the first place, let alone figure out why it happened. Like, speaking of me
Yeah,
and me being weird and in the industry. My degreeness, as people call it.
Yeah.
I now have, or will have, a second official game credit for something I didn't really work on, which is quite funny.
Hey.
So because of my, I have taken it.
Put it in your bio, man. You know, I worked on this or whatever.
I'm gonna have to put this on LinkedIn or something.
Yeah.
So because I work with Sony a lot and I work with various studios through that, I sometimes get opportunities to work with publishers testing games. Basically what they do is they register your interest. You get it through this, like, I don't want to say the name of the company because it kind of doxes where I am, but the company that I work with through the uni, you get it through that. They register your interest with the publisher, then you have to sign an NDA, which is why I can't talk about it too much. And then once you've signed the NDA, you get a copy of the game, typically a Steam link. Sometimes it's an in-person session, it depends. This one was a Steam link. You get to play the game for however long. I got 3 weeks, I think, for this one. You send them back a load of feedback, and then you maybe get your name in the credits if you send back substantial feedback. And it turns out I was apparently one of the best testers they've ever worked with, because they asked specifically, because of the way I formatted my feedback, because of all the feedback I gave, they literally asked me if they can use this feedback as like a gold standard to ask other people for feedback by, and be like, do it like this guy did it, which is quite cool.
Hey, yo.
Right? So they had to ask my permission to do that, and I'm like, yeah, man, obviously. And then I'm getting my name in the credits. So I can't tell you what game it is yet.
You're also going to be credited as their golden rule, basically, for feedback.
I think I will just be credited as a game tester.
You should have told them that, yeah, you can use it as long as you call it the Aiden rule. Or the Aiden standard. Or something like that. Like, I would have been like, yeah, but please just do this. Like, not you have to, but like, please, can you name it this?
That is funny. So I think internally, my work is being set as a golden standard, and then publicly, I am also going to be in the credits as a game tester, amongst many other game testers. You know, there's usually a group of like 10 to 20 people there.
Is this a game I would buy?
Once you heard of it, potentially. I'm not sure it's a game you would have heard of if it wasn't for me talking about it.
Oh.
I'm not important enough to work on things that people will actually hear. It's a cool game. I really like the game, and once it's out, I will tell you all what the game is, so you can go and check it out. But, you know, it's not something that you would have heard of naturally. It's very much a small team publisher.
All right. Well, I'll wait, I guess, and then I'll buy this game. I'll send it to you so you can sign it and send it back. Or I'll get you to pick up a copy for me, sign it, and then send it to me. That way we don't have to ship back and forth. We just one way.
The joke about this is that I didn't actually work on the game. Obviously, I just tested it. That's why it's funny that I'm in the credits, because I barely did anything. But
in a way, you did, because your feedback is what then changed some of the things
so.
They
are apparently now changing a fair few things because
you technically edited the game.
I guess so, yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's my brag.
You got to tell other people how to fix their game, and then they did it.
It's not the first time I've done that, to be
fair. You're a manager,
which is
man.
Cool. Manager?
Yeah. You don't have to do the work. You just tell other people what they should be doing, and they do it.
So I did this last year as well with a game called Republic of Pirates, which I will say, before anyone goes to play it, is considerably worse than the game I just tested. I could say that. It's not a particularly good game. But I did test it, and I did give them a lot of feedback. And a lot of the feedback I gave them for that game was performance-specific, because it was... Well, actually, no. It was... the game ran terribly. Basically, it was optimized awfully because it's one of these real-time strategy games, and they were like individually routing all NPC paths and stuff. It wasn't good, and I basically went through and I told them a load of stuff they were doing wrong, told them how they could make it better, and by the time the game released, it seemed they did fix a lot of that stuff. So was that directly because of me?
Just wasn't a good
Maybe.
game. Yeah.
It just wasn't a particularly good game. It ran a lot better though, which wasn't my job, so I did that.
Right, that's all the Switch 2 did for games, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Republic of Pirates. I'm in the credits. Don't buy it. Honestly, the demo has everything you need. If you play the demo, it doesn't really go much further than that.
All right. Maybe we'll check the demo out one day.
You could. I downloaded it just to check if I was in the credits because they never actually got back to me to confirm. Turns out I am, but you know.
Doxing.
They didn't give me a free copy of the game, which is crazy. This new one are giving me a free copy of the game, which like, thank you.
Physical or digital?
Digital. I don't know if it's releasing
Deluxe
physically actually
or standard.
They haven't announced any sort of deluxe edition yet.
Do you get the season pass?
I don't think there is one. It's just a game. Like the game is just a game. For once, you don't see that offered anymore.
True. It'll release broken. But yeah, that's great, man. That's great. We love to hear that.
That's my brag, and that's why I left it to the end because I know no one cares. But
I care.
Thank you, good sir. Yeah. Anything else to add? Any little rants?
You know, no, not really. Just that, I mean, for once this week couldn't shit on Xbox, so I'll just do it anyway. Xbox, do better. Not even gonna get a reason. Not even gonna give a reason. We had a whole episode about you last week. Nobody watched it, and that's because of you. So, do better.
That is true.
They saw the Xbox logo and were like, no. So
honestly, yeah, because the episode, right, so last week's episode was titled and thumbnailed completely around Xbox. Nobody watched it. The episode before that was titled and thumbnailed around Clear Obscure, and it's our highest viewed video ever by a lot.
Yep. So make sure we put PlayStation and Pokemon in the title of this one. Maybe Minecraft too. Why not?
I think this one will be Ghost of Yotei oriented.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody, if you did make it this far, remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. We ask questions during the whole video, so answer those.
Did we?
I ask a couple times. I try to make sure I ask at least once per episode your opinion or something that I might not know, because I don't know a lot of things. Yeah, you hardly listen.
That is
to
not
me, though,
news
so that's
to
why.
me. Also true.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe that's all this week,
Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you across the pond next time. Bye-bye now.